Hello, and welcome for joining us today. My name is Meg Booth. I am CEO of Performing Arts Houston. Thank you for being part of our creative chat series today. I am thrilled to be joined by Joelle Aguilera, who is the founder and artistic director of Mezclada Dance Company. Now, our goal behind these creative chats, our creative chat series, is to look at the artistic vision, the creative process, the inspiration, and the artists that Performing Arts Houston puts on stage each season. And Joel and his company, Mezclada Dance Company, are the recipients of a 2026 New Now commission for their work, Day a Key. Performing Arts Houston launched our New Now commissioning series in 2020 to celebrate and amplify the extraordinary artists right here in Houston. We are thrilled that you have one of these commissions. Joelle's work and Mezclada will be on stage for the world premiere of Day a Key on March 20th and 21st at the Wortham Theater Center and the Cullen Theater. Tickets for that show are available at our website, performingartshouston.org. But without further ado, Joelle, welcome. It's nice to talk to you today.
Hello. You too. I'm happy to be here.
And we are so thrilled to work with you to put your work on stage and see this work. But strangely, this is where I'm going to start today. Snoop
Okay.
Dogg.
Snoop Dogg.
Yes, you have done work with Snoop Dogg, yes?
Yeah, for sure. We did an NBC segment with him back whenever I was helping B-Boy Jeffro, who's a Houstonian. He actually competed in the breaking Olympic Games in 2024. So I was out there in Paris helping him train and getting him ready for the games. And yeah, we got to shoot some commercial with Snoop and it was a lot of fun and I mean,
That
I
is
yeah,
so
it was amazing.
extraordinary.
And he's very very funny, very quick and witty. So like what you see on TV, he's very much like that in person.
How fun. And how great to be in a creative space where you're dancing and creating and
Oh,
working
100%.
together.
Yeah, it doesn't get any better. You get to break dance, which is what we do, and hang out with people who we look up to in the hip hop scene. And obviously, hip hop has been like a big influence on me and all of the dancers that we dance with. So being able to work with someone of that stature has just been
I love
an
it.
incredible thing that I say that I can say that I've done.
Yeah, not that is super fun. And so let's back up a little bit.
Okay.
Your artistic journey, you come from a very creative artistic family. Um, Although you are unique in that the artists that surround you and your family are not dance specific. You went to dance. So tell us about your
Mhm.
journey and when you founded Mezclada Dance.
For sure. I think I would bring it back to just my general upbringing. I am a Colombian American and I've been raised in a very Latin household. That being said, I was still raised in Houston, which I'm sure we are all familiar with, is such a melting pot of cultures and backgrounds. So kind of being raised in both a Latin household, but also having all of my friends being super hip hop influenced. Those are the two main paths that just kind of like guided me on my artistic journey. Um, as far as like my family goes, my dad is a painter. My sister has a master's in clarinet. My other sister is an interior designer, and my brother draws like no other. My mom, she didn't start artistic until she married my dad, but she's got some painting skills too. I mean, it's just like it's all there. But I think for me, my dad, every time he was painting, he was listening to either Latin jazz or salsa, and that was blasting in the house, and that was like background noise. So what you hear in a salsa club when you're ready to party at 12:30 p.m. on a Saturday is what I would wake up to 7 a.m. on a Tuesday morning, right? So
Oh,
that kind of music was just normal.
yep. I love it. You must
And
have like had just such a creative, kind of enthusiastic, euphoric space to grow in.
100%. Yeah. And I mean, I tried acting. I played piano for 6 years with my sister. Then I did some drumming for 2.5. So it was very artistic, but the dancing side of things didn't really start until I was in high school. Both of my sisters were in a salsa group. And apparently one of the guys was like a break dancer. I saw it one time. I was like, I need to learn that. And he was like, I don't teach. I don't know why, but he did tell me about this community center called Revision, which is still active today, been going around for decades. And that's kind of my introductory to breaking. That's when I saw some people who went to my school, and I was like, "What's going on?" And turns out there's a class over at Westside High School. There's a breakdance class, and
Oh,
young Chris, the new now artist
yeah.
from last year, he actually touched on it from his performance last year. They touched on the studio, which is called X121, and that classroom setting is where a lot of Houston breakers came from that program called Inertia, and that was the start of the dance journey for me.
And so how did you go from there to being founder of Mezclada Dance?
So I mean, it really started off straight hip hop, breaking, kind of touching on other styles, social moves, house, locking, and that was where my passion grew for dance. Just being able to like learn new moves. I think it was like the first art style that I was a part of where I can actually visually see progress. Right? If there's a move I'm trying to get, now I have it, I know I've leveled up. And that just like that made me want to just chase dance and I just kept going for it. That I ended up going to University of Houston to get my BFA in dance. But I was introduced to styles that I would never thought that I'd be a part of. So I was taking ballet twice a week. I was taking modern twice a week. And then anytime I wasn't in class is when I was doing the breaking. So through that journey, started working on choreography. I realized that I really like blending modern and breaking. Um, and Latin jazz, the music that I grew up with, was what I realized was the bridge between the two, because you could do modern to Latin jazz, you could do breaking to Latin jazz, and just putting those two things together was just the easiest way for me to incorporate everything that I was a part of.
That's great.
And when I graduated, I became a Dance Source Houston artist in residence for 2019,
Excellent.
and we were able to work on my first piece, which I called Mezclada. So that kind of started that whole amazing thing that we've been doing for the past like 5 years.
Great. Can we break down just the name mezclada? The word mezclada is
Mhm.
mixed or styles. Can you talk
Yeah,
a little
mezclada
bit?
in 100%. Mezclada in Spanish means to mix or a mixture. And really, the only real time I would hear that word ever used when I was asking my mom what we were eating. And leftovers, it just kind of means like just a mix of whatever we have throughout the week. So she'd be like, Mezclada, just a mix of whatever we got. So any rice we had, potatoes, maybe some chicken, beans, whatever. Just put it all together, mix it up in a plate. That's it. So that's just how I see my dance style. There's a little bit of breaking, a little bit of house, some salsa footwork, postmodern contemporary. Mix it up. We got Mezclada.
And in a way, that also represents Houston, where, we talk about the diversity of Houston, how many cultures are present here. Um, and and so your piece translates to from here, being
Hmm.
Houston. So, excuse me, talk, I'm curious to hear you talk a little bit about that and how this whole notion of multiple influences shows up in the various styles that will be present in your work and how that reflects Houston. And nice
A hundred
cap, by the
percent. I
way.
mean, oh, thank you. Yeah, representing the Houston today.
Yep.
H-Town is
And
is
and maybe
what
shout out to
what
your daughter.
inspires every. Oh, 100%. Right here, Millie's dad. My daughter. This name is Amelia, and my wife got me this great hat for my birthday back in September. Um, So yeah, I mean, just to touch on that, our company is like a direct product of Houston. I mean, just everything that we're doing is incorporating people from different backgrounds, and it's just obviously so familiar to everything that we're all doing. Everywhere we work, everywhere we're doing art, you're gonna find people from different backgrounds, from different cultures, but we all grew up here in Houston. So we're all from here, and that's just the idea, especially when I'm thinking about it from a Latin perspective. I think right now in society and a lot of politics, um, people are trying to kind of mute Latin impact, and I'm here to highlight it.
Yeah.
We, as Latinos, have just been so impactful on USA, whether it be art, whether it not be art, whether it be anything. We're here, and I just want to showcase that. how vibrant we are, how fun we are, how dynamic, how intelligent, how artistic, how all these things that we bring to society. And it's not because we're from all these different places. I mean, it's just who we are, and we're from here. And that's just really what I wanted to focus on, is celebrating our diversity, highlighting Latin impact, and showcasing that just like anybody else from any other culture, we're also here from Houston, and we just want to celebrate it.
One of the things that I appreciate is the fact that you're creating space to talk about the Latin diaspora and the pastiche. You are Colombian. If you go to your website, Colombian American, if you look on your website, like you identify the diaspora that your entire company of artists represents. And again, that Mezclada name and word, represents the mixing of all of those things and the celebration of that variety.
Yeah, definitely. And I think it's honestly something that just happens. It's not like I'm looking for a diverse cast. If I pick a dancer who's available, chances are they're from somewhere that we haven't had someone from. And they have a background that we haven't really been able to touch on. So the cast of Mezclada is really what makes the company stand on its own. Is like obviously I'm trying to bring this bridge of some particular styles together. However, each dancer that we have is bringing a different perspective, and without the diverse cast of dancers that we have, we wouldn't be able to bring this kind of movement to like a concert stage.
Great. Let's talk a little bit more about Dea. You weave together dance, music, and films. And the
Mhm.
films are storytelling. I think that the films highlight three Houston artists, Figueroa, Hector Cisneros, and Rodrigo Aguilera, your dad.
Yes.
Can you talk about that?
So there have Yeah, as the process has been going on, there's definitely been some changes.
Okay.
We were gonna have live music, but after really focusing on what music we're using, the music that we're using recorded wise is just so layered. It is Latin jazz after all. It's got this big band feel, a lot of percussion that we realized adding another layer to it could be almost overstimulating. That we toned it down a little bit. And then as far as the films go, we're actually branching out. We're making it trying to highlight even more Latin artists. So as
Oh,
opposed to
fun.
keeping it a little bit more specific, we are still including my dad. We're including Hector Cisneros, who is a principal dancer from Mezclada, but we're bringing in other visual artists, more dancers, some musicians, and just trying to highlight really how much impact there are on the arts in Houston from Latin Americans,
So
uh,
again,
citizens or not, whoever we are. Yeah,
all of the artists highlighted are Houston artists.
100%. Yes, they're all Houston artists and they're all Latin,
I love
and
it.
we're just highlighting it and just showing how much positivity we're bringing to the Houston's arts communities.
And so in terms of like the urgency and the spark of what you wanted to amplify in this work, it was really the breadth of
Hmm.
artistic contributions made by more than just the initial spark of three people.
Yes, yeah, 100%. I mean, there's just so many of us, and that also being said, there's so many that go unrecognized and unhighlighted, and us having this amazing opportunity to be on a big stage like the Wortham and perform for Performing Arts Houston. This is just the perfect opportunity. It's supposed to being like, let's just showcase ourselves. It's like let's showcase everybody, as many people as we can, because we're all here and we want to, we're all influencing. And these are all the people that influence me.
Yeah.
So, what it only makes it right.
And some of the things that I've read about you reference your work as a combination of a fiesta and a cipher.
Hmm.
But also, I one of the things that I love about art is that can record and share history.
Mm.
But something that you have said particularly about this piece, De Aquí, is that it's not simply a presentation of a performance that records and shares art. It's an
Hmm.
invitation to a living celebration of cultures. And
Hmm.
and you say that it will have the energy of a Latin street festival or a dance social. And so I'm curious to hear you kind of talk about your approach to performance on a significant stage, a theater stage, but how do you translate that feeling where it's not just a performance, but it's an invitation to a celebration?
Yeah, I think being able to have seen so much contemporary art and contemporary dance, there is a lot of performances that feel more like you get to watch us, and we're just trying to break that idea of let's experience this together. Obviously, we have something planned, and y'all don't, but that doesn't mean that we got to both be present. Um, when I think about like a fiesta, like a Latin celebration, I'm being influenced by all the Christmas parties and Thanksgiving and birthdays that I go to when I visit my family, and it just turns into a salsa social. We get the salsa music playing, everybody's dancing. If I brought my wife, then I mean, even the first times whenever my wife was just my girlfriend and we'd go, she's like, I don't know what to expect. And then all of a sudden we're just doing salsa. She might dance with me, she might dance with my dad. We're all just moving around. I'm dancing with my niece, like we're all just having a good time and everybody's invited. Is I really wanted to capture that energy, which really shares a parallel with hip hop because with hip hop, like I mentioned, a cipher. For those who don't know, a cipher is a hip hop dance circle, and there is some competitive ciphers where people are trying to showcase their best stuff, but there's also just community ciphers where people are just there to show off what they can do and support one another and get excited off of someone's dancing and then respond and it ends up being a conversation. So both of those settings have that community feel that I really want to translate on that on stage and without spoiling anything. I'm hoping that whoever is there to watch the Aki is ready to move a little bit. So I want everybody to move. I want everybody to dance. And whether that means standing up out of your seat moving or just clapping to a beat, just rocking your head, if you're moving, even just a little bit like I am right now, then you get to experience it and you get to share it with us.
And that's the invitation.
100%.
Um, you talk a lot, and I mean, you're referencing that the performing arts, art, dance is celebratory and joyful. Deaki is a celebratory performance.
We're at the Wortham. We got to celebrate. We're here with a great stage, uh, great organization to put it all together, and we got some great movement, some great dancers. So why not celebrate?
What do you hope that audience members leave with after seeing this
Um, I,
performance, after being in this
I, wa-
performance space?
I want them to feel like they had fun, and I want them to feel like they relate to something on stage. I know we're talking a lot about Latin impact, but on top of that, I mean, really, our dance does include a lot of genres, a lot of influences from different areas that we hope that everything we put on stage, everybody can find something that's relatable and something that's a little different. And we're hoping that everybody just goes and sees themselves on stage. I have mentioned before that I want this to be a mirror image, to be reflective, because even like I mentioned with the similarities between a fiesta and a cipher, those are two different settings with two typically different communities of people. Um, but they share things, and everything that we're bringing on stage, someone could share something with, whether it be the modern, the Latin, the hip hop, the breaking. There's something for everybody, and we want everybody to feel like I relate to that, or I know that feeling is really our goal. It's like everybody feel a feeling that they've had, and more likely something upbeat.
I love it. Joelle, it was wonderful chatting with you today. Thank you so much for your time. I invite everyone to join us for the world premiere performances of Deaki at the Wortham Theater on March 20th and 21st. More information about the performances can be found at performingartshouston.org, new now performances, and or your website, mezcladadance.org. Did I get it right?
mezcladadancecompany.org.
Dancecompany.org. Great. Um, we'll see you at the show. Thank you so much, Joelle.
Thank you, Meg. Bye, everybody. See y'all soon.